You're not on my level. I don't need to address you, bro.
Leave it. They're looking for fight.
I don't need to address you, bro. You're not on my level, bro. Forget that. You're working for me Saturday night. Exactly. Humble yourself. Yes, you're under his car. You work for me Saturday night. I'm still your landlord. Don't forget that. I'm still your landlord. Exactly.
Now, these were distractions that were part and parcel of the reasons why he might have lost ground against Usyk and Dubois. Obviously, he hasn't fought Fury yet, but notwithstanding that, still Fury in terms of the perception of him. Do you think he's right? Do you think those distractions around him were part and parcel of why he took his eye off the ball? Or are you a bit more cynical like me, saying, well, they might have been, but notwithstanding, you still got beat by better fighters?
It could be. It definitely is a very valid excuse. The man's absolutely smashed it in life, as we said time and time again, with his business, with his outside the boxing interest. But he's right what he's saying. I like the way he said that. His biggest money-making business is his boxing. And there's not long left on that. And there's no disrespect to him whatsoever. And again, no disrespect meant here. I was really excited when I heard him linking up with Usyk and Usyk's team. Anyone who knows anything about what happens inside Usyk's camp knows it's not just a couple of extra players.
The leaked footage showing Anthony Joshua and Kristian Prenga nearly exploding into a full brawl has the boxing world questioning if tensions have gone too far before fight night.
I was really excited when I heard him linking up with Usyk and Usyk's team. Anyone who knows anything about what happens inside Usyk's camp knows it's not just a couple of extra players and a lot of discipline and motivation. He works his ass off, and his methods are different, and that will help Anthony Joshua as a fighter. I don't think it will hinder him. I think it's going to help him, and I think we'll see a better version of what we saw last time in Anthony Joshua. Not the best version, because I think time's not on the side, but I think we'll see a better version of what's come out.
I think it's down to maturity, why he's now saying, you know what, I need to concentrate on boxing rather than, because he's talking like that the times when it should have been doing it, it's too little too late.
I think maturity.
So it's down to maturity, but then again, the biggest issue it's that with AJ. It's nothing else but that.
Johnny Nelson believes Joshua may not truly have the level of confidence he is showing on the surface, suggesting that beneath the calm appearance, the tension is still clearly building.
Also, Johnny, it's maturity, and I think the tragedy that he had in his life recently has probably made him wake up and realise, that's not important.
Prioritises things in your life.
That's not important. This is now important, and also time. There's not long left. There's not much shelf life left.
And when he's talking about fighting, and I think Eddie at one point said, we've got a good, this might be the last 2026, and he's saying 3 or 4 more fights. He's got to say that, because if the day you admit, you're out, you're done. You're done. The day so he's got to talk like that. These boys have got 1, if not 2 more fights left in them, and that's it. And the where AJ is at the moment, AJ I still see the vulnerability in the way he talks, in the way, and he's talking.
Well, he talks more now about the fact he's mentally solid than physically solid.
I don't believe him. No, I don't believe him. If you've got faith.
Revealing a different side, Nelson explains how Joshua once avoided joining Canelo in camp, but now must stay humble while training under Usyk's guidance.
It was a surprise, but it's very humbling, and best thing he could do. Best thing he could do, because he needed to be in a position. I heard a story once that he went to, I don't know if it's true or not. I heard a story once he was in Canelo's gym, and Canelo asked if he wanted to spar. And AJ said, no, I'm all right. He got in the van, he kicked off saying, how can this man, because when AJ trained, he's going to train, he's going to know his way, which is why I moved from trainer to trainer. He's gone to Usyk's gym, he's had to show respect. He's had to humble himself and had to think, right, I've got to do it this way. I've got to listen to you. So now finally, he's listening to somebody who's thinking, yes, the only time he had that respect was with Rob McCracken. That fear and respect. Now he's got it with Usyk.
I think McCracken was very good for him as well.
Did he have that respect? Because Carl Froch constantly bangs on about he doesn't feel that...
No matter what anyone says, Joshua remains fully confident, revealing he is not planning just a 2 or 3 fight run, but a 3 to 4 year journey toward becoming undisputed. That journey toward becoming undisputed.
More, and you'll always be focused on stuff, but just a little bit more now. Things that won't do your head in. Because you know, realistically, I know it's mad that sometimes, I said, didn't I, 2026 could be your last year in boxing. Now you're talking about 2, 3, 5, like what?
Yeah, about 3, 4 years.
You also can't be the best at everything. Like when you look at businesses and all that, like
I've learned
you focus
it's quite
on
humbling,
Getting the right
when you realise that, it's everything. It's everything. Hiring process, dealing with specialists. That's why I think for me, you can't be the best at everything. I can't be the best boxer in the world and also be the best financial advisor.
No.
It's just not going to work. So be patient with all that, but that's why I've shut down all the businesses. I've got advice from the Hearns.
Is not merely a dream of Alexander Usyk, as Adi Oladipo reveals Joshua's commitment to face boxing's new generation if needed.
The want to become undisputed, Like, was it Alexander Usyk just writing it down, or does AJ believe in it? AJ said he wants to become undisputed. He said he's done the Olympic thing, he became a world champion, he became a unified world champion. There's only one thing that's missing, and that's to become undisputed. And I said, okay, but the boxing scene is different. When you wanted to become undisputed, you really you either had to be a Fury, a Wilder, or an Usyk. Now, potentially, you have to rematch Dubois, you have to get past Caballero, you have to see Moses Atalma, and you maybe even have to see a Frank Sanchez or a Daniel Dubois again. Or Fabio Wardley. Ain't easy, but he looked up for it. He was like, okay, he kind of nodded like, okay.
But the growing belief that Joshua's best days are behind him is also spreading throughout the boxing community. After he claimed he has 3 to 4 years left, many interpreted it as a possible retirement hint. While most agree the hunger to compete still burns inside Joshua and his undisputed goal remains strong, Spencer Oliver highlights how Joshua often overthinks when it comes to chasing his biggest ambitions.
On the premise of him deciding to work and train with Usyk and Usyk's camp, was that a surprise to you?
It was a surprise, but it's very humbling and best thing he could do. Best thing he could do because he needed to be in a position. I heard a story once that he went to, I don't know if it's true or not. I heard a story once he was in Canelo's gym, and Canelo asked if he wanted to spar. And AJ said, no, I'm all right. And he got in the van, he kicked off saying, how can this man, because when AJ trained, he's going to train, he's going to know his way, which is why I've moved from trainer to trainer. Yeah. He's gone to Usyk's gym, he's had to show respect, he's had to humble himself and had to think, right, I've got to do it this way. I've got to listen to you. So now finally, he's listening to somebody thinking.
Speaking on his fight with Prenga, Ade insists that his knockout power cannot be overlooked. The way he has already interacted with Joshua throughout the press conference, with fiery exchanges and verbal jabs, shows the rivalry is still alive. He also explains how Prenga has earned more attention on the East Coast, with his name even being linked to Jaron Ennis.
Kristian Prenga shouldn't offer any problems. He's a big lump, as they all are in the heavyweight division. I'm guessing he's around 250, 260. Although everyone he's knocked out is at a very, very low level, knockout power is knockout power. Some people will go points with some of the guys that he's put to sleep. So he clearly has power. And I've always said, I think if a 260-pound guy hits you clean on the chin, your legs will wobble and you could go down. So AJ has to be careful. But they've watched tape on this guy. Like Eddie said in the studio with us that he was going to pick Kristian Prenga for a bout tennis fight card because Prenga does quite a lot of tickets in the East Coast. He's kind of known as...
Surprisingly, this matchup is only becoming a reality because of Joshua, the heavyweight star who wants to prove Prenga does not pose any real threat. Meanwhile, promoter Eddie Hearn reveals training camp has been intense, with Joshua showing grit and a strong work ethic every day. Hearn believes is no longer dwelling on setbacks like the loss to Dubois, staying fully focused on making history once again.
Point of view when it comes to training camp, is it back in Valencia? Obviously still with Usyk's team, but yeah, back in Valencia with him and still training
back in Valencia, 6 weeks Saturday, is it? Or something, 6 weeks. He's in a great place.
Still with Igor, still training with him. Okay,
he's in a great place. Look, AJ's a very deep thinker, very intellectual guy. Sometimes he does interviews and I think, you're going off on tangents there, mate. And I thought he spoke so well. I've watched his interviews and I was like, I've never heard you speak with so much clarity on what you want to do, what you need to do, where you are in your life. He had a load of, projects and businesses and everything was driving him mad. And it's no excuse about the Dubois fight. He got beat fair and square, but when your focus is not just boxing.
On the other side, Prenga remains confident in his ability to disrupt Joshua's plans. He claims he will make sure Joshua's future fights never happen, aiming to cancel every comeback plan by proving the world that his time is over. He also insists he has spotted weaknesses in Joshua's style and is preparing to expose them on fight night, when the pressure reaches its highest point.
In October or November. So they picked you because they expect you to lose. You've come here almost to upset the apple cart, they say here, to cause the big upset. Do you find it offensive they've picked you to lose?
I don't think it's offended me, but I'm happy because they underestimated me. I think it's not a good idea he make a plans to fight Tyson Fury. I like to make my plans only God. I don't want to make plans for myself. Because if I make a plan for myself, I want to go on top of God, and I can't do that. The God is first, it's the only one. He make the plans, and I think I'm going to break his plan.
According to Prenga, his game plan is to shock the world in a way nobody expects. He believes this would become one of the biggest upsets in boxing history and open the door to defeating other fighters while bringing championship belts back to Albania. He also sends a clear warning to Joshua, claiming the fight will not go beyond 14 rounds, and he plans to finish the job.
What's the dream? Do you expect to knock out AJ July 25th? You knock out everyone, that's what you do. When you win, you knock out.
It's not gonna go 10 rounds or 12 rounds. How it's gonna be the fight? It's not gonna go 10 rounds. The fight is gonna stop the fight.
You expect to stop him.
Yeah.
You know, if you stop him, it'll be one of the biggest upsets in boxing.
We're gonna see in July 25th.
Why are we only seeing you now, Kristian? I look at your record and only one defeat, knockout, 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 knockout. Why has it taken so long to see Kristian Prenga?
I just signed a manager.
Now we'll see you.
Yeah, now you see me.
On the other hand, renowned trainer Peter Fury, who has spent years working with kickboxers, understands the challenges Prenga faces transitioning into professional boxing. He believes Prenga will do everything possible to survive longer than the rounds fans expect Joshua to finish him in. However, Fury feels that once the fight settles down, Prenga's chin will be seriously tested within a few rounds.
Prenga is any kind of banana skin for AJ then, or not?
No. I think with his background, and I know what it is working with kickboxers, and we've got an elite level kickboxer, and how hard it's been to transfer him into boxing. I just don't think he's going to pose much of a threat for AJ, to be honest.
And he's going to want to work out though, Peter. He's not going to want to sort of knock the bloke out in the first round. I mean, he probably does want to get a few rounds under his belt, doesn't he?
I think he'll have a look at him. I think he'll get behind his boxing, he'll have a look, but unfortunately, you know, I think he'll present his chin a little bit too quick.
Right.
And somebody with AJ's power, he's got destructive power, so as soon as that shot lands, it's over.
As the boxing world debates, Tim Bradley shares his insight, believing Joshua needs a more meaningful challenge for fans. He questions Prenga's level, but acknowledges his boxing credentials. Bradley highlights Prenga's height and size as potential problems if he performs at his best. He believes those physical advantages are the main reasons Eddie selected him as Joshua's next opponent.
Fighter that, you know, didn't get his just due, got 2 world championships, broke his heel, now coming to boxing being the savior once again, giving a big ass paycheck for his family. Hey, congratulations, man. Hey, welcome to boxing, bro, the Wild Wild West. You're welcome. But if you, AJ, all you gotta do is take it to him. That's it. Avoid getting hit with a big shot. You know, got a good right hand. All you gotta do is take it to him. You know, this guy right here, he's tough, but he's soft at the same time. He's tough, but he's soft at the same time. So, like, if you start to put the pressure on him, he ain't never been at that level, and you start hitting him hard.
In his analysis, Bradley explains what Joshua needs to do to secure victory, and his advice carries weight because he has been a fighter himself. According to him, Prenga has knockout power, but lacks the true technical skills of boxing. He believes Prenga's defense is predictable and can be exploited. Bradley advises Joshua to apply pressure, trap him in the corner, and unleash combinations to finish the fight.
You lay an egg, and you don't give us what we're supposed to get. I don't really care about the Fury fight, to be honest with you. Give us something to get excited about, man. AJ, give us something to get excited about. Oh yeah, Netflix is paying for that. But yeah, anyways, this is a guy that ain't never been past 8 rounds, guys. Never been past 8 rounds.
Responding to those who claim Prenga is too easy for Joshua, his manager Keith Sullivan explains why he believes in his fighter's chances. He highlights Prenga's heavy-handed right hand and ability to hurt sparring partners as the reasons behind his According to Sullivan, their goal is not simply to survive or win on points, but to actually finish Joshua before he even gets comfortable in the fight.
So we don't need 12 rounds. We don't need 1,000 punches. We just need 1 or 2 good punches on AJ's jaw to get him uncomfortable. We've seen it time and time again. When he gets hit in the right spot, he gets out of his comfort zone and loses control. And once we get him to that place, KP can step in and take over the fight. It's a really risky fight for Anthony Joshua. And let's look at it from the other perspective. If KP is all the stuff that these naysayers say that he is, and he doesn't have a good record and he doesn't have the skill, talent, and whatever, why on earth did Anthony Joshua's team present a fighter such as KP to him? What does that say about his team and their doubt and their uncertainties and insecurities about where Anthony Joshua is right now in his career.
Spencer Oliver argues that no matter who Prenga has faced, there is no denying he is nowhere near Joshua's level. He believes Joshua is far ahead in experience, skill, and power. Oliver calls this matchup a calculated move from Team Joshua, as they need a smart preparation fight before potentially facing Tyson Fury in the future.
And I'm confident that KP can win this fight. It's the heavyweight division. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Keith. Hope you're well, mate. But yeah, I agree with you in some extent that it is a massive opportunity for Kristian Prenga, for sure. But you must admit that he is at a lot lower level than Anthony Joshua. He's never competed at that sort of level. Anthony Joshua knows what he's going in with here. Your guy is very heavy-handed, yes. But from the footage that you've seen online from him, he doesn't he's not mixed, and he doesn't seem to be at that level as Anthony Joshua. And I suppose that's where this is all coming from. It's a calculated gamble from Joshua's side of things because they want a test of some sort, a guy that is heavy-handed.
The argument Keith Sullivan brings is that even Rico Verhoeven was once considered below the level of other elite fighters, yet he still achieved major success. He insists that in boxing, anything can happen when fighters step inside the ring. Sullivan believes Prenga deserves the opportunity to prove himself, and that dismissing his chances before the fight could be a mistake.
Joshua is at a different level than Prenga.
Of course.
As far as you're concerned.
Of course.
But we concede that.
On you go, Keith.
We've conceded that. We don't doubt that. But KP is a caliber enough of a fighter that he can take over in the ring and win this fight. That's the point that we've been making.
Look
at Rico versus Usyk. Did you think Rico was on the same caliber and on par with Usyk's talent?
That's a great point.
Absolutely not. But look at that fight.
Keith, I was just about to use that as an analogy, actually, when you're talking about guys coming from crossover fights. But Rico Verhoeven, seems to be at a different level, to be totally honest, to your guy when you looked at that going in.
I mean, the exception doesn't prove the rule. To go to Keith's point, he can use the Rico Verhoeven, but the exception doesn't prove the rule any more than Ngannou making Tyson Fury have a difficult fight and Anthony Joshua knocking him out.
Carl Frosch and Tony Bellew debate Joshua's comeback, with Frosch believing Joshua can comfortably walk through Prenga. However, he warns that this fight may not provide the preparation needed for a potential Fury showdown. The bigger question is whether Joshua can handle Prenga in a more convincing way than he handled Jake Paul, because the expectations surrounding this return are much higher.
It shouldn't be. AJ should be able to go in there and probably walk through.
So then is it a warm-up?
Well, it's still a warm-up fight because it's an easy touch. It's a mark time fight. It's just...
Does that prepare you for Tyson, though?
No, it doesn't. But it gets through the motions, and if you can get 5 or 6 rounds in there, which he managed that with fake
the
Paul,
level of criticism that went into the Jake Paul fight, Paul, as you say, that was
he's not a real boxer, is he? So I call him fake Paul because he's pretending to be a
Tony,
boxer. But
real
he's not.
boxer?
He's fought boxers. Means he got in the ring with AJ with tennis gloves on. Listen, I'm not saying he's a world class. He got in the ring with.
You've got to give him credit for that.
Yeah,
and I give him credit for getting in with AJ.
Mate, he got in the ring with tennis gloves on. Very few people will get in the boxing ring with AJ, but there's a flip side to that coin.
Tony Bellew suggests Joshua's fight with Prenga is mainly happening to keep him active in camp, while the ultimate heavyweight clash fans want is Tyson Fury versus Joshua. Speaking on the matchup, Carl Frosch also believes Prenga is the easier challenge, but says this fight gives Joshua valuable time to discover what he still has left and how much longer he can continue competing at the highest level.
Like I say, if you look at his career, he's not fought anybody. He's got 20 knockouts in 20 wins, so he looks like he's a puncher, but who's he punching? You know what I mean?
I think everyone's missing the point purely about this.
But AJ can go in there and get a few rounds, go through the motions, see how he feels in training camp. He's still got to do a training camp. Still got to get through all the
camp.
That's that's the answer.
And then he'll know if he still fancies it, if he still enjoys the game.
It's a 12-week camp with a new team. How do you respond in hard moments in sparring? How do you respond in 2 or 3 hard days back to back in the gym? How are you going to respond when I've got 3 sparring partners sparring 12 rounds again and I'm telling them, knock them down, you've got X amount? They need to see what's in the tank with Josh. They need to see where he's at here.
Speaking candidly on this fight, Bellew insists facing Prenga is almost irrelevant for Joshua because the real target remains Fury, with experts suggesting Hearn finalized this matchup as a warm-up opponent. It shows Joshua's future still looks bright. However, Carl highlights one important factor. Every fight is first won or lost in camp, and everything depends on how Joshua performs during training.
On paper, this fight with this Prenga guy, it's irrelevant. It's not even a question. It's what goes on in that camp that's the Usyk's team will see, and that's where all the answers will be done there.
Does he still want to be a pro boxer, AJ? Does he still want to fight in big fights? He will find out in the camp, and the fight's won or lost in the camp. So he'll go through the camp, it'll be good. And if he can take his time for 3, 4, 5 rounds, like he did with Jake Paul,
might have to carry him.
Just take his time, carry him a little bit, and then get the job done.
I don't think he was carrying Jake Paul, to be fair. I think he was trying to take him up. But
22-foot ring as well.
As we know, it's so hard. No matter how much your experience is, if you want to run in a boxing ring, you can run.
The strong belief is that Joshua needs to stop Prenga within 3 or 4 rounds, and if he fails, many will consider it a disappointment. Just like the Jake Paul fight, expectations are extremely high. No matter what anyone says, everything will be decided inside the ring. Fans do not want to see a repeat of the Ruiz versus Usyk comparisons, with many believing Joshua must prove himself this time.
Has to overcome this, and as we saw with Alexander Usyk versus Rico Verhoeven, physically you can get yourself into that condition, but if there's no fear factor here, psychologically you can underperform. We saw that against Usyk, and hopefully we don't see it against Anthony Joshua.
This guy's a boxer and he'll make normal shapes. But Prenga said, and I do agree with him.
Former kickboxer, by the way.
Former kickboxer, yeah, but he's boxed for a long time now, 10 years. The thing about he's saying about AJ is this is a lose-lose for him. And unless AJ goes in there and dominates him and knocks him out, which I believe he'll do inside 3 rounds, if not 2, I think it is a lose-lose for him. And I think Prenga's right in that respect to throw that out there.
Absolutely. Again, that's the mind games, you know, and I think that Prenga's spot on with that.
The idea is obvious. Experts believe this is the true warm-up fight for Joshua, unlike the Jake Paul matchup. Facing Jake and Prenga are completely different challenges, but fans want Joshua to dominate and make a statement. They expect nothing beyond 3 rounds, hoping he can deliver a powerful performance and avoid criticism if the fight goes longer than many anticipate.
Analogy, you know, Anthony Joshua has to go in there, he has to be spiteful, he has to get the job done for me inside 3 rounds as well. There's no feeling out process, you've got to go in there and show that you are back, make a statement. I think that's what he has to do, AJ, so he's in a lose-lose situation, you know, going into this one, because that's what people expect.
And he hasn't actually won a genuine fight, because you can't, even though we were there, we covered it, it was a great occasion, he won the American audience over. The Jake Paul victory in December last year wasn't a real boxing match. He held Jake Paul up for several rounds and then he broke his jaw in 2 places against a guy who really is 9 levels below him. He's not even an area champion in cruiserweight boxing, let alone heavyweight boxing. So
the boxing community is loving the fact that Usyk is supporting Joshua during his preparation for this fight. The warm-up is viewed as a defining moment to measure how much Joshua still has left in the tank. With Usyk guiding him, fans are noticing improvements in Joshua's mentality and expecting a thrilling performance from him on July 25th.
And if this is the warm-up for the biggest monolithic, megalithic boxing match we've ever had in the UK, he needs to have a great camp, to have all the Usyk guys around him and go out there and prove that he's tip-top.
Absolutely. Listen, he's out training in Valencia with Team Usyk. I think that, you know, he's been under the watchful eye of them. He said he's made improvements, not just physically, but mentally. The training regime has been military as well, and you're going to see a new improved Anthony Joshua. And I know it, even at the age of 36, people are saying, how can you improve? Well, he says that he has improved, and that he's been under the tutelage of Team Usyk. It's going to be interesting.
I think psychologically they've been brilliant for him, and Alexander Usyk is his new mentor and cheerleader, and I love all that.
The countdown is on, and now all eyes are on Joshua to prove whether this comeback is truly different. Will he silence the doubters, deliver the statement win everyone expects, and show the world that the road to undisputed is still alive? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more boxing stories and updates.